Go ahead.
Have you seen Dark Side of the Ring with Doink?
Yes, that was what I was just gonna bring that up.
Oh, good. I watched that one.
Yes, I did too.
I was interested to see if they would mention the ECW stuff, and they did like a tiny little
they
bit.
did the classic Dark Side of the Ring move. They go, he wrestled
The
here.
land of the extreme.
Yeah, then he went to ECW for 8 seconds.
Well, they did say how he transformed his character to the Born Again character. They talked about that a little bit, and that was a great transition for Matt. I think he killed it in that character. And I told you he used my mirror and got clown makeup all over my mirror. I couldn't use it that night; it was all smeared up. But I never knew the story about his daughter and ex-wife thinking that the girlfriend killed him.
I didn't either.
So that was interesting. And I don't know enough information about any of those people to judge if she did it or if she didn't do it. But man, heavy stuff. Like the way she said, "Oh, I heard him. I thought he was snoring," and he sat there. Was he like foaming at the mouth for 12 hours?
Yeah, it was
Jesus.
that. I mean, that noise was that, gurgle that apparently
regurgitation, or what is that?
Well, apparently that's that noise that she was describing was that noise that apparently is what you're making as you're on your way out. I've heard that described in other stories about, guys passing away. Chavo Guerrero kind of mentions the same thing when he found Eddie on the ground in the hotel room. But I didn't know that the girlfriend or the fiance, whoever that was, I didn't know that she was in the business. I had no idea. No clue.
Nurse Ratchet or something, she said?
Yeah, no clue who she was at all.
I don't know who she is. No.
But
what bed did she work for?
Where did they was it Portland or was it Texas? It was some
see, I'm not familiar with that territory.
It was a territory, but I had never heard of her ever. And but just the whole story as a whole, the Brian Blair story was out of this world.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was crazy. Because he sat next to me. Killer Bee sat next to me at WrestleCon in Dallas. They were two of the nicest men that I had ever met in my life. So I don't think that he's lying at all.
No.
I can't see him lying about something like that. But that story was unbelievable. Like, he just kept jumping on him over and over again. And just whatever in his head was telling him that he was hitting on his girlfriend, and he wasn't, and he just kept trying to beat him up. That's so weird.
And Blair is a legit shooter. I mean, Blair's a Florida State wrestling champion. Like, he's no joke. And I guess he probably, what I think Borne probably thought was even, it was probably the drugs saying, like, I'm going to challenge somebody to fight tonight, and it's going to be this guy. And it was the wrong guy. And Blair beat his ass 3 times. Right. And then finally, when Borne got the upper hand and he said he was going for his eye, and that's when Ivan Koloff came in and kicked him there. And kicked him off and said, "No eyes. We're not, we don't go for the eyes in a fight." Unbelievable stuff. But, again, to go back to the ECW stuff, I've asked Shane about it a lot because Shane and Borne were paired as a duo during that run he had in ECW. Shane always just says that it was a brilliant portrayal of a guy losing his mind. But I don't know how much of a portrayal it really was. It really seems like Borne was kind of on the edge at times. So in your interactions with him, like, what did you think? I mean,
I don't know, because I didn't interact with him a lot. Like I said, he asked me one night, "Can I borrow your mirror? I have to do my makeup." I said yes. And I think I sat near him because I wanted my mirror back. So I
sure the mirror returned.
Yeah, I needed that mirror. So I sat near him while he did it. And I think we had some small talk. And that's probably the only night that I ever really conversed with him. And it was not about anything. I don't think he hit on me. I don't think he was inappropriate. He was just kind of doing his makeup, and we were just chit-chatting. And when he gave it back, it was just all smeared. I was holding it like, what the freak did he just do to my mirror? I just went and cleaned it off. And that was pretty much it. But I remember watching him because I was, I got into wrestling late. Everybody knows that story. But when I was a WWF fan and I would go to these shows, I was scared of Doink. And I was an adult. And I hated, like, if I was in the front row, I would hate, he would come up to me with that stupid bucket and it would freak me out because his face was so, like, satanic in a sense. Like, he just looked like he wanted to kill you. You know what I mean? And then, like, he would just pretend, like, I don't think I ever got the confetti thrown, but he would just go, ooh, you know, and it would freak me out because clowns are not my favorite thing. You know, and especially like a demented clown. I didn't dig it. So as a worker, you know, years later and sharing a locker room with him, I just saw like the transformation from that character into what he did in ECW. Brilliant take. I just thought it was so clever. And I don't know if it was all Paul or if Matt had a part of it. But man, it was interesting to see. And I think he could have ran with it more. Like, I don't know exactly if it was was it a money thing with those two? I wasn't privy to the conversations, so I don't know why he left the way he did. But man, I think that character could have got over leaps and bounds because it was so different and just so like cryptic. Like it was cool. You know, it was edgy. It wasn't the cartooniness. Even though he was an evil clown, there was still a type of cartooniness because that's what WWF did. Everybody was kind of like a cartoon character back then. In ECW, there was this like edge to him that you never knew when he was going to go off the deep end. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And then it was cut short. So that was a disappointment as a fan to watch. But the one story I was so confused about was with Jim Duggan and the incident with the fan. Was Matt holding a grudge because they were sued and Jim started the fight? Is that where his hate for Jim came from?
He got the brunt of the heat overall from Watts.
Well, he kicked his eye out, right? Wasn't it Matt who kicked the guys or punched the guy so hard his eyeball came out or something?
Yeah, but I think that no matter, and I think that he took all of the brunt of the
punishment or whatever.
Yeah, the punishment. That was it. That's the word I was looking for the fight. You know, even though it was everybody, but I think because he had that reputation for being not the nicest guy and kind of like Hacksaw said, a bully and always on the edge and looking for a fight. I think that it was kind of used in the scapegoat role, and that's why Watts kind of took it out on him.
Yeah, but he was just coming to Jim's defense. Right? The fan punched Jim. Jim attacked the fan back, which, okay, he should have because he was hit first. And then, like, Matt, as his partner, was just coming and finishing the job for him. So it's the boys taking care of the boys. And that's why I didn't understand, like, why he took it out on Jim Duggan.
Right.
That didn't make sense to me.
And held it against him for
years,
20-something years.
And then go do an indie and start a shoot in the center of the ring over that, which wasn't even Jim's fault.
Right, and which is weird too because they worked together in WWF. They worked as the Doink and Hacksaw were there in '93 together, in late '92, early '93.
Yeah, but you can't go into business for yourself in WWF because you're going to get in trouble. On an indie show, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, did you see? Like, didn't he just walk out? He walked out the door.
I remember. Yeah, it was that fed in PWS. It was Pat Buck before he founded WrestlePro. It was called PWS, and they were putting on these super duper star-studded indie shows in Jersey and New York. in
Okay.
early 2010s. I think Jerry Lynn had his last match with PWS.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and they hosted it, but it was in New York, and I remember it at the time. It was one of like the more like first viral wrestling stories that was circulating. And you know, I think it was Mick Foley said, like, you really got to go out of your way to not like Hacksaw Jim Duggan
Such a
if
nice
you're in the
man.
wrestling business.
Right. I agree. Yeah, he's always been nice to me when I've seen him. So that was shocking. Like it there were so I love watching something when I don't know something about the person. It just makes the story, you know, for me more interesting. And there's a lot I did not know about this man. And just the discrepancies between his daughter and his ex-wife and then the girlfriend. I was just like, ooh, interesting. Like, you know, with the medication and the neglect, you know, for him sitting there and when she called 911 and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, wow, that's heavy stuff.
It's not called Light Side of the Ring. You
No,
know,
it's not. And it would be nice if they did one because I would hope that they would do a story on me, but they'll never do it.
it would be called the Bright Side of the Ring.
Yay!